Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another video. This time, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13. Is it worth playing in 2025? Now, why am I talking about such an old game today? Basically, I kind of got back into this because of Dynasty Warriors Abyss. It kind of got me back into the my interest peaked kind of into Dynasty Warriors and Romance of the Three Kingdoms again. So I kind of wanted to get into this. So just a brief overview of the game. This is an officer-based strategy game. You kind of like pick an officer, as you can see. There's 800 of them available to choose from, or you could custom create your own character. Yeah, they have different classes, which I can show you in another screen when I show you some of the gameplay. But basically, they have different classes like a merchant, a free officer. You could be like a civil servant that works for a faction, or you could be like an officer for a faction, right? Comrades are very important. I mean, it's kind of like the key of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Like how relationships really determine like your success in the game, like having good strong bonds and friends will, give you better skills. You could call on them to help you in battle or otherwise. So it's a really cool feature that I like about this game, that it's always about like your allies. There's four different there is four different characteristics. There's leadership, war, intelligence, and government, that basically tell you who the character is and what they're good at. So government is basically skills related to like kingdom management, so they're good at tasks in that sense. Intelligence is for like one of the type of battle skills, which is like a debate that they have. So if you have high intelligence, you're gonna win debates. And then war is for duel, like the other side of it. When you do combat, you could have a combat duel, so you need a high war skill to succeed in that. And then leadership is basically the strength of your like force. It helps you like with troops and stuff, like in field battles. So those are the different stats. And then you have different troop type aptitudes, if you can see it down at the bottom. Spear aptitude, horse aptitude, bow aptitude, and then you have different like abilities, if you could see them: commerce, coax, speed, defense, naval. So it's different like skills that these characters come with. Just depends what they're good at. And whatchamacallit, your allies can die, or you can as well. You just kind of like need a successor to continue the game. And if you enjoy role-playing in the Three Kingdoms setting, this game is kind of for you. And you enjoy like the strategy aspect. It's kind of stat-based, so you kind of like got to really make the numbers work. But I'll get into the gameplay in a minute. Actually, yeah, let me get into that right now, just to show you like how you would set up a game. So you have hero mode, which is kind of like the tutorial. And I didn't complete everything, but they kind of just take you through the basic features of the game, and they take you through Wu scenarios, Shu scenarios, Wei scenarios, and then the side story is just some stuff with Zhao Yun, and I'm not sure what this campaign is, but that's just to get you introduced to the systems of the game. It's like a tutorial. And then when you click to do like an actual like game where you're trying to take over the map with your force, or however you want to, different scenarios here. And let me just give you an example. Let's start at like here, warlords, and you know, you could add custom officers. I created this one over here. He has max stats just to make everything easier. But there's also downloadable ones. I think these come from the power-up kit, so that is something that I should mention. The base game is not good enough. You actually need the expansion called the power-up kit. So if you ever are considering buying this, make sure you get it with the power-up kit. That's the only real way to play this, otherwise you're missing out on some features of the game. Besides that, so you move on from this screen, and then you know they recommend you which officers to choose. Usually these are like historically important officers. So you have Cao Cao, Sun Ce, Liu Bei, Lu Bu, Zhao Yun. I don't know who Jai Zhu is. I don't know who these guys are. Zhang Liao is from the Dynasty Warriors games. He's a strong warrior. Huan Yu, Zhao Yun, he's my favorite. Zhang Fei, Ma Chao, another one of my favorites. So you know they give you a few recommendations on who you can play. But I kind of just go here to the historical officers and just kind of like choose who I want to play. Let's say for example for this playthrough I want it to be Guan Yu. Then you could adjust some difficulty settings here. I always kind of put it low because I'm kind of terrible at these games. You have officer growth, which is kind of like your stat growth. Merit is kind of like how you complete tasks and get higher up in the hierarchy in the faction. You have lifespan. You could do historical events, disasters. You could have your characters killed through battle. So it's really customizable. So let's jump into the game. So I'll just show you a little bit of gameplay, and then I wanted to get into one interesting aspect of Romance of the Three Kingdoms that's applicable to the other games. So they have like a scenario opening where they kind of lay out the background of what's going on. So Lu Bu took out Zhou, and this is where we're at. So I am playing on console, so just to give that extra, you know, rating on, it's not that bad on console. I mean, obviously, I think it would be easier to play this kind of game because you know you're kind of like going through the whole map like this. It's kind of easier on mouse and keyboard, but it's not impossible, you know. So you could suggest what the faction can do. It just depends on your position. So it says perhaps I should make a. So let's do strong military. Let's do a little bit of everything. In period assault. Banned. We should follow my plan this time. So Liu Bei denies my proposal. But yeah, that's what happens when you're not the ruler. Anyway. So yeah, in the game, you know, you could make different, you know, strategic actions. Whether it's like, domestic, military, personnel, strategic, and this is just different like things in kingdom management that you could do. foreign, and then if you go down at the bottom, like this is where I could assign myself a task, and it's really within these like categories. And I guess we have to remember what Liu Bei asked us to do, and then you could just come up with an assignment. Oh, let's do some commerce at Zhao Pei. Let's do this much, and let's ask this guy Miju to do it, because maybe he's not busy. Anyway, that's like the kingdom management aspect. Up here is the classes. So like I said before, so you could be a military official, excels at duels and battles, an officer that's good at strategies and tactics, civil servant that's good at domestics and diplomacy. You could be a free officer. That means like you're not associated with a faction. Then you kind of just like hunt bandits. Or you could be a merchant and gain a lot of money selling and buying things, and then using that money to influence what's going on in the kingdom. So, and then you could level up based on the different accomplishments that you have in the game. So if you have more than 15 duels, victorious in 20 battles, and achieve higher ranks through prestige and fame, then you can move on to the next rank. So it's kind of cool. It gives you like a small progression system, something to work towards while you're also trying to take over the all of China, right? Like since we're green, it's like if we turn this whole map into green icons, then we basically win. That's essentially the game. I mean, I could show you like the debate system and stuff if we can get into those battles, but that's kind of beyond the scope of what I wanted to talk about. What I really wanted to talk about. Now let me get into this other screen. What I really wanted to talk about was, as you can see, there's 800 officers available in this game. I haven't unlocked all of them because I haven't played every scenario in this game yet. But I have worked to unlock all of the female officers just for this kind of exercise to see which officers are missing in the other Dynasty Warriors games, because I was playing Warriors Abyss and also Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. Like, which of these female officers are missing? So just to give you a perspective here, so there's 19 officers in Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, 19 female officers. I don't know what the total number of officers available is, but it's definitely not 800. There's definitely not 800 playable, officers in Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. Maybe like 200, maybe. But in this game, there's 800, as you can see, and 40 of them are female officers. So there's 760 male officers in this game. Anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, who are the missing ones, and would you want to have them in the game? So Bao Sanning is in the other Dynasty Warrior games. So she's already kind of included. And this is showing if they were in previous Romance of the Three Kingdom games. Bianxi is not in other Dynasty Warriors games. Apparently she was concubine to Cao Cao, mother of Pai, mother of Cao Pai. So kind of important, but I guess they couldn't figure out what weapon to give her. I'm not really sure. And I guess also she's a recent addition, right? She was in 11 and 12 and 13. So maybe they should add her to the next game. Bu Lianqi. So, Sun Quan's wife, let me just check my notes, is in the game. She is in the game. Kind of surprising. Sun Quan's wife is in the game. So she was just recently introduced in ROTK 12 and I guess 13, and she's in the game. So there you go. Kaishi. So she is not in the game. Wife of Lu Bao and older sister of Kai Mao. Kai Mao. I'm not sure of her importance. Do you think she should be in the game? I don't know. Who's the other one that wasn't in the game? Yeah, do you think this character should be in the game? Let's move on. Haiyan. So she was in a lot of these ROTK games. Female poet and daughter of Sai Yang. She was dragged away by foreign barbarians. When Cao Cao pressed north with the intent of ransoming her for 1,000 gold pieces, her captor sent her back. Interesting. So she's kind of like associated with Cao Cao because he freed her, but didn't really marry anyone, I guess, in his faction. So kind of a wild card character here. Interesting. Should she be added to the Dynasty Warriors series? I don't know. So Cao Jie is Cao Cao's daughter, huh? Married Empress Jian along with her two sisters. Yeah, she is not in the Warriors games. Should she be added? Okay. So this is what they call in the Three Kingdom games. So this is Sun Tse's wife, right? Dao Chao, Sun Tse's wife. She's definitely in the games. Zhao Chan, we all know who that is. This is Lu Bu's wife. Definitely in the games. Dongbai is a recent addition to the Dynasty Warriors games. And she was just added in R2K13. I think she's a great addition. She's interesting. Interesting character. Dushi is not in the Dynasty Warriors games. So her bio says, wife of Queen Yunlu, an officer under Lu Bu. And later Cao Cao's concubine. How many concubines does this guy have? Anyway. When he discovered how beautiful she was, of course. So, there you go. Should she be in the game? I guess it would make things conflicting if you have like 3 of Cao Cao's concubines in the game. Anyway, Fan Shi. She's definitely not in the game. Widow of the older brother of Zhao Fan. When Zhao Yun attacked Gu Yang on Liu Bei's orders. Sorry I'm butchering these names, by the way. At the time, Fan introduced her and urged marriage to Zhao Yun. However, fearing that such an act would tarnish the reputation of Liu Bei's army, Zhao Yun refused. Wow. So she was proposed to Zhao Yun, but he refused. Yeah. She was in the previous R2 games. Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. Interesting. Should she be in other games? Gan Chi, Liu Bei's wife. She is not in there. Should she be added? But she's the first wife, I think. I believe. Wan Yinping, one of my favorites. She's a recent addition and a lot of fun to play in the Dynasty Warriors game, so it's nice to have her. Boshi, Cao Pai's Empress. So this story of her is interesting. She is not in the game. Should she be added? Maybe she could have like a little revenge story thing if that's part of her storyline. Seems like an interesting character. Hey, she. I think this is. Wait, who is this? Empress to Emperor Ling, Mother Emperor Shao. Poisoned Wang Shi when she had a child with her husband out of jealousy? Wow, interesting. Should she be added to the Dynasty Warriors games? Then you have Fu Lan. This character is cool because she's Meng Ho's daughter. She should definitely be added, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Then you have Yue Ying. I don't know why Huang is there, but this is Zhuge Liang's wife, who's already in the games. So, Li Shi. So this was an interesting one to me. Wife of Shu Officer. Oh jeez. Wife of Shu Officer Ma Miao. When he surrendered without a single fight, she was so humiliated she committed suicide. Jeez, that's crazy. She's definitely not in the games. Suicide is definitely a controversial, topic. So I don't know if she'll be added, but interesting. Interesting. Oh no. Concubine to Yuan Chao, mother to Yuan Chang. Yeah, I don't know if all these concubines are going to be added, but what do you guys think? Should she be added? I don't know. She's a recent addition. The daughter of Lu Bu, and I think she's excellent, so it's great that they added her. Lu Yu Sheng, she's not in the games. The other games. Daughter of Lu Ji from Wu and wife of Zhang Wen's brother Zhang Bai. Huh. She married Zhang Bai at 13. 3 months later, he was sent to a penal colony, leaving her a widow, and she never remarried. Interesting. Should she be added to the games? Ma Yunlu. Now this is the character who needs to be added to Dynasty Warriors games. A fictional character. I mean, just like Dong Bai and other characters that, Ma Yunlu is fictional, but that's okay. Daughter of Ma Sang and sister to Chao, Zhu, and Tay. Both beautiful and skilled in battle, she joined Ma Chao when the rest of her family was killed by Cao Cao. After being defeated by Cao Cao, she fled with her brother and joined Liu Bei. In Jing, she met and married Zhao Yun and continued to fight by his side. They should definitely add her. What do you guys think? Nishi. This is Liu Bei's second wife. Should she be added? I don't know. Pang Yi. I feel like she was in some of the games, but I can't even remember. Heroine of Jiao Quan, mother of Pang Yu. With her 3 brothers, plotted revenge on Li Shou for killing their father. When her brothers fell ill, she swore to finish the job herself. She accomplished it in the year 179 in broad daylight and personally delivered his head to the local officials, asking to be punished accordingly. However, she was released. It is said when word of this reached the governors of Jiuquan and Liang province, they had a stone monument erected in honor of her heroic undertaking. Cool. I think she should be added. That's a unique story. Sun Luban, oldest daughter of Sun Quan. Huh. Interesting. Should she be added? She's part of the next generation. Sun Lu Yu, Sun Quan and Bu Lianqi's daughter. Interesting. Should she be added? One of the most popular characters, Sun Jiang Sheng. I'm not saying her name right. Daughter of Sun Jian. one of the most popular characters in Three Kingdoms. Sun Shi. So this is an interesting character, and this is the wife of Lu Zhan. She is not in the game. Not in any of the games I know. I know Lu Zhen is in the games. I think she should be added. I don't know what weapon they would give her, but I think they should add her. Wang Yi. I believe she's in the game. Yeah, she is. So, good addition, I think. Wang Yuan. She's also in the games. It's like, you know, they have these characters in the games, but they don't have Lu Zhen's wife. Anyway. Wu Guotai, second wife of Sun Jian. Not in the games as far as I know. Should she be in the games? I don't know. Who's this? Daughter of Zhao Ling and wife of Cao Wenshu. Not sure. Should she be in the games? I'm not really sure who she is. This is Zhang Fei's wife in the games already. This is the sister. Zhao Yu's wife in the games. Xin Xianying. So she is actually in the games. Daughter of Xin Pai and wife of the Wei minister Yang Dan. Mother to Yang Zhu. She's in the games already. Zhu Shi. As far as I understand, she is not in the games. Wife of Sun Yi. Should she be in the game? She has an interesting story written here. I can get to it. However, Sun Yi gave the banquet anyway and was assassinated there. Whoa, let's go back a second. She attempted to dissuade Sun Yi from throwing a banquet because the portents were not good. She was later wooed by Sun Yi's killer and pretended to acquiesce so that she could lead him into a trap and kill him. This earned her the praise of the people of Jiangdong and gratitude of Sun Quan. That's interesting. Interesting story. I think they should add her. Yang Shi, wife of Ma Chao. So I don't think she's in the games, but they should add her. They should add her. Wife of Ma Chao. Wife of Simi. She's in the game. So yeah, it's like, why do these other characters get a lot of love? And you know, you don't get her and Ma Yunlu. Zhang Shi. She's also an interesting character. I think she's Zhang Fei's daughter. So interestingly, they have Xing Kai in the game, in the Dynasty Warriors games. Maybe that's to kind of replace this Zhang Shi? Zhang Shi instead of Zhang Sai? I don't know. It's interesting. And she has a sword and spear in the game. A sword and shield in the game. So, I don't know. Maybe they replaced her? This character model is interesting as it is with the spear, you know? So why didn't they keep this? Zhen Shi, daughter of Zhen Yi. She was married to Yuan Shou's second son, Yuan Ji. She is in the game? But they said she was married to Cao Pai. Oh, okay. Cao Pai made hers. Yeah, she's in the game. Zhu Rong, we all know who this is. Beng Ho's wife. And Zhou Ji will end it off that. Who's this? The wife of Zhang Ji, an officer of Dongzhou. There she met Cao Cao, who became enamored with her. It was in this fight that Dian Wei and Cao Ang lost their lives. Jeez. Should she be in the game? Anyway, that's really all I had to say about this. I just thought it was interesting that there's 40 female characters and they're not in the games. You know, some of them are I would say controversial if they're like concubines of these you know, major characters. But like I said, Ma Yunlu should be in the game, especially if Zhao Yun is like the poster boy of Dynasty Warriors. Like, you should have his wife in there too, right? Even if she's fictional, like I said, some of these characters are fictional anyway, like Dong Bai. She's fictional, as far as I understand. So yeah, that's all I had to say about this game. I hope they add some of these other characters to the upcoming, you know, next installments of Dynasty Warriors games. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you like this kind of game. Let me know if they think they should add these characters. Anyway, I hope this helped you guys out, and see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.